suppose basically in my case, I didn't have a hell of a lot to do with out here until I came out as a load boy on the Eltham transport trucks, because of the wooden stock crates. The floors stayed down, so they pick up a little kid and take him along to shut the sheep in on the bottom deck, save the driver crawling in. So that's how I started my time out here. Hamiltons and Coxes would fill probably about 5 trucks. They were little trucks, but fill about 5 trucks for the lamb fair. We'd take the lambs into Eltham to the lamb fair, unload them, come back out, and some trucks would go to different places after that, because, you know, they'd pick me up at about 2:30 in the morning down in Mangamingi in order to get the 2 or 3 loads into the sale on time. And so then after we'd unloaded, we'd take the drivers would take me into the railway hotel. Mr. Plod would say, "You're with them, aren't you?" Yeah. Mr. Plod was a very good Mr. Plod. He knew what was going on. And so we'd have, then I'd help load the trucks at the end of the sale and then get chauffeured back to Mangamingi. So that was my beginnings to coming right out here.
So when did you come out, Mel?
I was born here. I'm 3 days old when I...
Oh, really?
And the old truck broke down, the car broke down, and way back down, a long way back, down by that big bridge. And I had to be carried on Mum had to carry me home all the way from there, walking with me, after having me 3 days before.
How long was that walk?
That's from the Red Bridge where they got out.
Yeah, a long way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fair walk.
Yeah.
It'd be 5 or 6 miles.
Yeah, carrying me all the way through. Apparently I cried, and that wasn't good.
You did get to survive, though. That's something.
Yeah. We had to survive, yeah. They were born to survive.
So you had to make your farm before you could start farming?
Yeah, they had, the old,
Her parents did.
They had to cut it out of the bush.
Yeah.
The old man worked on the road, and Mum milked the cows, milked 30 cows by hand, twice a day.
So the road in here, was that picks and shovels?
Yeah, it was part way into that little narrow bridge down there. That concrete bridge, that was as far as the road went.
Right.
And
That's where I told you you'd want to drop it. We'd stop and drop a stone over on the way back. It's
that's as far as the road went when my parents came in.
Yes.
So how long before the farm was ready to sort of get some stuff?
I don't know, they cut bits and pieces. They bought 100 acres for a start, and they cut that out and farmed that and milked some cows or did something on that. And Dad worked on the road, and Mum milked the cows, and so they just built it up from there.
How many cows did she milk?
30.
30, Wow.
Bloody hell, that's a big herd.
That's all.
Yeah, they're old.
Yeah.
Who helped? Who helped?
Nobody. Me when I was big enough.
Yeah.
So as you get older, how did you get to school, or did they just...
When Mum taught me, she was a teacher, one part of it.
And we're talking, what, 1930 something?
Yes, way back when I was about, I think she started me off when I was 5. She taught me till I was 13, and then I had to go to boarding school in Stratford St Mary's.
And what was that? What was your idea of boarding school? Wow,
Yeah.
look at all these people.
Well, I was 13 when I went there, and I was there for about 4 years, I think, off and on, you know, but come home for holidays. I was there for about 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Wow. Did you get school certificate?
Yep.
Yeah, you did? Oh,
yep.
Congratulations. More than I got.
More than I got too.
So you're back here after that?
Yep, I was back all the time. There's no way I was going anywhere else.
No.
No. So you came here, and just because you were born a girl didn't mean you could be a girl. You had to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever was going on, you had to do it, whether it was milking cows, shearing sheep or whatever.
Back in the late 40s and 50s, tractors and machinery were sort of just starting to get going. Did you have a tractor?
Yeah, we had tractors later on, but it was only riding a horse or something and pulling a sledge, yeah.
Sure. There were, somebody said, 10 schools out here back in the olden days.
There was what?
10 schools in the district.
I don't know how many there was altogether, but this one up here used to have at least 20 pupils.
Wow.
Where my house is, was a school site. It was up there and it had at least 20 pupils at one part of it.
Yeah.
And they had a teacher that only came, this week he'd come 2 days, next week he'd come 3 days. And they worked it like that. And people got on their ponies and come up here and went to school.
Did the teacher ride a horse as well?
Yeah.
No, he rode a horse?
Yeah. So that's what they did for schooling. I've still got the bell, the school bell, and I've still got one of the desks and the chair to go with it.
Good on you.
And you have inkwells in your desk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we had to start off with a pencil, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they got flash, you got just a little stick with it, and you stuck a nib in the end of it,
Yeah.
dipped it in the ink until you run out.
Yeah,
dipped
yeah.
it again.
And then when you got really fresh, you got a fountain pen.
Oh, that was really flash. Yeah. So you spray it at the girls.
Yeah. So yeah.
So did you get married at some stage?
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, second time.
So to a local or somebody that...
No, to a bushman.
A bushman?
Yeah,
there
was up in the bush up there cutting trees. That was all right, but everything was good there, but he drowned 5 years after. So that was the end of that. I was back here on my own.
Yeah. So there were bushmen, as in like somebody was saying, there's about 800 bushmen, and they took bush trams and they...
Yeah, they used to come in and cut bush and sow the grass seed or whatever and go back out again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, paid them to do it. I think the old man did some of that.
Do you get to town much?
No. The old mother didn't used to go to town. Dad did it all.
Oh, okay.
And one time she didn't go for 3 years, and I wasn't allowed to go without her. So it was 3 years is the longest time that I didn't go to town.
And town being Eltham.
Yeah.
At the end of this road.
Yeah.
Wow. So have you been overseas? Have you
No.
stayed in this valley the whole time?
Only been in the North Island.
Right, wow.
Been around that a fair bit, but that's all.
Yeah, good on. Yeah.
Well, dog trialled for a while.
Yeah, trialling dogs for a while.
So,
My second husband was, the first husband was a bit of a dog trial addict, so we used to go around dog trialling quite a lot.
And do you have your own dogs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
So do you remember wool being a pound a pound?
Yep. I remember it being more than that.
Really?
And the old man then bought a new truck and everything with the money they got from one season's wool. And one part of it, when the war, I think it must have been just when the war was on or something, wool went up to about 20 pounds a pound for double-decker wool. That's the ones that have missed the fleet. And they were going round with blades, catching double-deckers and shearing them and carrying the wool home.
Hence that photo that sort of Paul's with the blade shearing out in the paddock.
Oh, yes, saw that.
Yeah.
We had to shear them. And
your shears were the...
yeah, with the clippers, yeah.
Blade
shearing.
shears.
Blade,
Yeah.
that's what they're called, blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do that here a bit too, because you get sheep away down the gully and they get too much wool on to walk home. So you shear them and then they'll come home next time, probably.
So when did the mechanical shearers turn up in the valley?
Well, the old's got a I don't know what time that was. They got a one of those Anderson motors.
Yeah, an overhead.
Yeah, with the overhead gear. That was the first thing to come in.
Was that in the 50s?
Yeah, I suppose it would have been, yeah. I think it was here before we came back here, yeah.
Wow.
Because it was still here when I first shore for you, which would have been...
Cox had one, and
Yeah.
and the old man had one, those Anderson motors. They were getting a bit old at the time, but they still did the job.
And you could shear sheep?
Yeah. I had to shear all my own sheep for a while.
Right, and you could operate the thing behind you there, the old wool press?
Yeah.
Just imagine you're pulling down on that, sort of packet it in.
Yeah.
You would have had to jump in.
Getting the top up was a hard part when you had to saw back.
Oh, okay.
When I first shore for Merle, you were shearing big wethers, and that was the wethers were because wool was so valuable. And one of the comments among the shearers is you're bending down here shearing, and the wether standing in the catching pen looks over the door at you shearing his mate. And so people would say, when you go out to Sorenson's to shear, you've got to learn to stand on their pizzle so you can open up the neck, because they're so friggin' tall. When you sit on their bum, they're taller than we were.
Well, some of those big...
Corridale, Perindale Cross.
they were Lincoln.
Lincoln, that's right.
Yeah, Lincoln, Perindale Cross one. I had to get somebody to help you get them out of the catching pen, because you sit it down and it's too heavy to drag out.
Yeah.
And then the head was way up here while they're trying to shoot it. Yeah.
They were bloody huge sheep.
Yeah.
Well, that leads on to the
They
story.
chill out at
the-
about 120 pounds.
Yeah. The truck, the stock buyer came and bought them one day after we'd shorn them, and I don't know the exact number, but we'll say it was 120. And you get 120 on a little truck, you get 60 in each truck, and so you'd need 2 trucks. So the man went to Merle's house and rang the Aikens, and Russell said, "Oh, no, don't be silly. I'll send out my new truck. This is a comma with a 2-lunger."
Oh, yeah, Tier 3.
Yeah. And he thought, that'll fit them all on. Well, I was still here when the truck arrived, and we loaded and you had to put the race into the wool shed to load. You never set race. And the man said, "Oh, take 18." He chased 18 into the truck, and we thought, "Gee, he's going to be hard put." Anyway, a lot of banging and crashing and cursing and swearing, and 4 sheep come back into the wool shed. More cursing and swearing, and 2 more sheep came back into the wool shed. He managed at 12 to a pen, which meant that once he'd finished, he was loaded to the gunnels. And as Merle said just a short while ago, they got part way down the road, and because the road lent so much, the truck was just about to the point of falling over. But first of all, it rained before he left the wool shed, and there was no metal under the, well, the metal was under the grass, not on top. And he had endless difficulty getting out of there. We got him on the road, and he got on his way, got down to a cutting halfway down the hill, and the truck being longer than the usual, it was touching there, and touching here, and he had to sit there and jerk it around as best he could.
Yeah. So it's not the most comfortable road out there. It's sort of have twists and turns and challenges the whole way, and then a couple of bridges, and something happens to the bridges, you've had it.
You don't go anywhere.
You were telling me before there was an old bridge under that, the Red Bridge or something, right? That last bridge.
Yeah. Before that, they had to cross it with the horses and wagon down the ford, Nicholas.
Oh, not use the bridge at all?
No, there was no bridge there.
Oh, okay. So you were telling me you had your Jeep on the
Yeah.
bridge. Tell me that story.
Well, I had a Mahindra made in India Jeep, replica Jeep, and the bridge was being rebuilt, and I came out to see, because I owned the post office block at that point, so I came out legitimately to see what was happening. Anyway, I worked my little butt off and got my Jeep up onto the bridge, only to find that they hadn't filled the other end. It was 25 feet, just straight down. So I thought, well, bugger, I can't be assured of backing myself back through this mud hole. I'll have to turn around. So with no sides on the bridge, I went through, as Linda said, a 45-point turn. But we got it round. The stupid things we do, man.
So this new bridge is just built over the top of the old one?
Yeah. You could still walk across the old one if you can get down to it.
Yeah. No wonder somebody hasn't got the timber off it.
Solid. Big lumps.
Big lumps of hardwood.
Tell me, Mel, have you enjoyed Mangamingi?
Yep.
You do it all again?
It's my raw.
Yeah. And tell me, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Me, I'm in my 92nd year.
92nd year. That's getting up there.
That's time's gone quick since our party, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
So tell me about the post office block, which is just up the road. Why is it called the post office block?
Because there was a post office there.
Really?
Yes, there was.
And my mother used to run the post office.
Really?
That's as far as they came. And there was I think it's still there, part of the Warrior, isn't they?
Yeah.
Part of the batch is still there. And they lived there. That's because that was the end of the road at the time, and they lived there. And she ran the post office there.
So people were going by stamps and post offices?
Yeah.
They had to go there to collect their mail, and then she had the post office up here.
But this post office even further out?
Yeah, up here at the house, yeah.
So tell me about, sorry.
And I had to go with people. There's a rut there between the house and the fence. There's a trench in the ground where people used to get over the fence and go up to the house to get the mail. And I used to have to get the mail from Mum and take it out and give it to whoever was there for the mail. They had their own stamp on it and everything.
Wow. So if I'd have got a letter from you, it would be stamped.
Yeah.
Take our post office. I've got a friend in New Plymouth that's a philatelist, and he has got an envelope with the
Stamp.
Takau post office stamp on it. So I'll get the photo of that
That's a pretty
for you.
rare.
And it was joined onto the house.
Yeah.
So they went out separately and got it. And if you didn't like the neighbour, they just took the letters out and saw, here, goodbye. Go on.
So tell me, speaking of the post office, tell me about the telephones. Did they come out?
Yeah, the telephone was there. People used to ring up on the telephone, and Mum had to go and tell them there was a message or something. Yeah.
So it was a party line, working.
Yeah.
And you had a telephone number like 1B or something.
Yeah.
253R.
Yeah.
So forth, yeah.
So were there feuds going on, in the neighbourhoods? I don't like you, don't talk to me,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
They had all had some people wouldn't talk to this one because he talked to that one, and that one wouldn't talk to that one because he was friends with that one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on.
And tell me about the marriages between the families. Did that happen much?
Yeah, no, not to these ones. It didn't. No.
But in the whole valley itself, people would.
Yeah, no, not really. I don't think.
And so they might find somebody foreign.
Most of them went and got outsiders. There was no employment within the community for women, unless you were a school teacher.
Oh, okay. So that's the way you moved your stock around on the road. They just walk them along the road to the next paddock, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to take them to Eltham, could you
Put them on a truck then, yeah.
Yeah.
Used to drive them down to Mangamingi, down to Hardwick-Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody'd put the sheep they didn't want in one mob, and my brother used to take them down.
So just on a horse or something, or just...
Yeah, just walk behind them.
Because Because I just remember back in, you're travelling around the countryside and you're just in this huge mob of sheep coming towards you, and there's not much you can do except stop and wait for them all to go by.
Yep.
Yeah, take them down there and then he'd draft them all up because he knew his woolly earmarks.
Woolly earmarks.
Yeah,
So when did the bottom fall out of sheep in recent times?
well, there's still money in them if you...
Like in the meat, not the wool?
Yeah, meat, wool's still not worth much, is it?
No. Wool still struggles to cover the shearing costs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then they wonder why there's not too many sheep around.
No. So they fatten beef out here?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Wow. Have you ever fished? Have you ever caught a fish in your life?
No.
I'm only asking because you look like a very good friend of mine, Ray McIntyre.
I caught eels, that's about all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get them up and shoot them.
Of course.
It's the easiest way to get them up. You used to have to shoot an eel for tea way down the bush because they had not enough money to buy something.
Oh,
So you shot an eel, and that was your tea.
that was your tea. Wow.
You sound a bit like...
And so the people who live out there have have veggie gardens?
Yeah, the old used to have a good veggie garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly
And there were some good orchards here.
Yeah.
The flyers that were here had a big orchard in here.
Wow.
All sorts of things growing here.
Yeah. And so this road carries on how far roughly?
Yeah, it goes way up there about, well, you could go up there now on a bike or something for about 4 or 5 miles up there.
Oh, okay. So you can't go anywhere.
You can go down here, down the road down here to Buckman's with a bike or side by side or something like that. Yeah, you get right down there.
Yeah, marvellous.
Yeah. I see you've got a knee too, have you?
I've just had it. It's about 30 days old.
Yeah, I've got 2 knees and 2 hips.
You don't rattle, do you?
Just about.
She can't go overseas because they couldn't get through customs.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Wouldn't be able to get on a plane in a hurry.
Yeah.
Well, that's marvellous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did he?
Yeah.